Okay, thank you for the time given for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand as the closing government and we have also watched the opening debate that is conducted between the opening government and also the opening opposition. The Honorable Chief Adjudicator and also the respected all the participants who joined this debate competition. The motion that already been released for us says that this House believes that feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to know that the variable that we can broke from the motion into the case that is talking about the feminist movement, which actually which should aggressively oppose and also the K-pop industry, which is the main circumstances in which that we are going to debate in the case. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to rebut the opening opposition that already says that actually before we are going to support the government badge, we would like to rebut the opening opposition as well. Ladies and gentlemen, even though the leader of opposition says that Korean industry make innovation, but we need to also bear in mind that actually it has not any similar track with feminist movement goals. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to bring feminist movement here in which that woman in every aspect should be primarily given about education, poverty, and also change for speaking up. Ladies and gentlemen, even though that actually innovation can be claimed coming from Korean, talking about even in skincare, innovation in beauty, innovation in other aspects. However, ladies and gentlemen, K-pop industry actually can be claimed that doesn't give that. Why, ladies and gentlemen, that the evidence of the K-pop innovation, K-pop industry's innovation is talking about innovation that not giving the profit for the others. Before we are going to giving the details of rebuttals, we are going also to say that physical standard is really determined in society. Ladies and gentlemen, even though the opening opposition would like to rebut the opening government about this one, however, if you would like to say that physical standard is based and also upon the certain person's interest, however, ladies and gentlemen, it is such an unwritten interest. Why? Because if you say that physical standard can be seen from what, and many people will say that, for example, when they want to see a woman, lighter skinned woman and also a thin woman and also having good physical appearance will be more chosen. Why? Because actually physical standard already been compared with K-pop industry, and also K-pop artists already been exposed as the model how to be as a woman as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually what the opening opposition already failed to build. And then why we want to support the government badge that already been begun by the opening government, because K-pop is mostly claimed as the top ranked result of search in even online searching. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, K-pop, we would like to say that K-pop until the end of the day being as the top rank in the virtual and also internet socialization. Even we can say that BTS, Super Junior, and other product of K-pop industry already try to influence the internet as well. Ladies and gentlemen, how the case would like to be brought under the current of the status quo, because we would like to say that adolescents and other youth prefers to K-pop drama, song, and other advertisement rather than paying attention to other aspect. What the other aspect then should be given? It is talking about feminist movement actually. However, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to explain it later on. And then going to the second status quo, currently in status quo, many of Korean dramas show us the story about psychopaths. And then, ladies and gentlemen, why it is important for us? Because Korean dramas that already been produced by the K-pop industry is giving us some bad influence. For example, it's okay not to be okay. That actually, ladies and gentlemen, the content of this drama is talking about the psychopath person who get depressed, and he was going to do the crime and also criminality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very bad. It is okay, for example, it is watched by the people upper age 18 and also under the control of the older people. However, if it is watched by the children, it is very bad, because the theory says that children see what the children do, what the children see. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Choi Sin-sil and Ah Jae-won in 2021 already been proven as already have self-murder only because having bad influence of haters. That is talking about woman virtual interaction, and also talking about many Indonesians getting insane and talking about aggressively addicted to the K-pop industry. Why this status quo, ladies and gentlemen, very important because we would like to give the arguments. It has 5 arguments that we would like to give. First of all, the influence of K-pop is definitely affect nowadays youth preference. Ladies and gentlemen, for example, plastic surgery and also other aspect of physical performance. As it is said already previously, it is not written, but actually, ladies and gentlemen, all the things that we have, it will be compared to Korean artists and also Korean the industry. And then, ladies and gentlemen, second of all, this is the hike of that effect of criminality and crime. Because of what? Youth would like to buy belongings and also some merchandise related to BTS, for example. But because of having less money, they would like to do the crime and criminality of thieving. This is not something can be denied because the news already been tried to spread us the news about this one. And then third of all, we have to put attention also with the related issue from K-pop that are gaining popularity in internet and virtual socialization and being weak in mentality. Why, ladies and gentlemen? They just try to give us the condition in which the gaining popularity in internet and also virtual interaction, it is better than gaining a real interaction. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is very bad for us. And then continued, it is wasting the time for the youth, and it will make the less productivity time for the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the important one. Also talking about the fifth argumentation we would like to say, laser of cultural identity. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Traditional clothes from Korean, traditional houses from Korean, and even the language from Korean being as a very powerful. Being as powerful things in try to decrease the traditional identity of the follower. Why? For example, in Indonesia, we would like to ignore our language. We would like to ignore our traditional belongings. Why? Because we only put attention to the Korean traditions, and the Korean tradition being more exposed to other, and also even the Eastern culture as well, being as perhaps it has probability to be extinct someday. Because why? Korean tradition being more exposed. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude our opinion, if we would like to say that the dark side of K-pop can be concluded in 3 aspects. It is talking about soul, prostitution, and spy camps. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to say that the idol actually should give the innovation and also good positive impact for the followers, not by giving the bad influence. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we stand strongly to propose to this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the time that given to us from the closing government. And here, before we continue our speech or our argument, the honorable, all the judges and all the members, in this competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, this motion right now talking about this House believes the feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. And then, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the K-pop industry is not something new for us. It is a new trend in our country or in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, also the debating have just finished by the opening government and opposing opposition, and then they gave the fact also and their argument about here we are from the closing government. We want to emphasize again. We want to clarify again about the data that have been explained by both of the opening government and opening opposition. So first of all, from the opening government, they explain about the gender in general. However, ladies and gentlemen, I think in our mind, they are still lacking of the data. They are just focused on the gender. But however, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't give whatever's like solution, whatever the influence of the K-pop industry. They just explain about the K-pop, for example, like just focus on the beautiful physical. But how about the solution? We don't just judge the K-pop industry. However, ladies and gentlemen, here also we have to focus on the solution. And then, ladies and gentlemen, also the opening government also explained about the purpose of the K-pop industry actually to find a follower. Why? Because they want to familiar in their follower and then in the region or in the country. And then, ladies and gentlemen, also the opening opposition want to rebut the opening government. And here also the opening opposition explained about that the K-pop also is not just the physical beauty. Meanwhile, the opening government explained about it is focused on the beautiful physical. But meanwhile, the opening opposition focused on that the K-pop actually is not just the beautiful physical. But however, ladies and gentlemen, it is talking about the talent, what the hard worker that that prepared by the K-pop industry. And then, ladies and gentlemen, actually we are from the closing government. We support the data, the argument from the opening government. However, ladies and gentlemen, because the data that have explained about opening government is still lacking in our mind. But however, here we are going to explain for you what are the influence of the K-pop industry. So that's why later we are going to oppose the K-pop industry. First of all, there are 4 points. First of all, equal education. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the K-pop, it is focused on the familiar. It is one to famous to the society. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if we just because the K-pop industry actually focus on the physical beauty, so it is not care about the character, it's not care about the mindset, it is not care about the behavior, just focus on the physical performance, the physical beautiful. So, however, ladies and gentlemen, do you think the character, do you think the mindset, the behavior is not important? That is totally wrong. The second one, talking about the change for speaking up. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that the K-pop industry also actually focus on the one to famous to the social internet to the virtual social. I mean, so the netizen will follow them, and then maybe the netizen will manipulate or their style and whatever it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine if sometimes they make mistake while talking, while showing their performance in the social media, I mean. So what happened? For example, sometimes they make mistakes, and then the netizen will bully them. It is not something for us talking about the bullying. It is a big problem actually. So because of the bullying from the netizen, do you know what the impact happened later? So it will, they probably the K-pop of the industry, I mean, she will murder themselves because they feel shy because of the bullying of the netizen. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth point also, the influence. So it's why later why we have to oppose the K-pop industry. That is about the good personality being ignored. This is the point also, ladies and gentlemen, because Emma just explained just now, talking about the feminist movement, it is about purpose to mind beautiful our behavior. Meanwhile, K-pop just focus on the beautiful physical. So, ladies and gentlemen, our country can let this happen if just ignore the behavior, the character, and then try to show our personality. I mean, just try to show the performance without care about without care about the character. It is totally wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So there are for the problem. I mean, there are for the influences why we have to oppose the K-pop industry. I want to remain again. It is about the equal education. The second one talking about the change of speaking up, and the third it is about the change in getting job. And the last one talking about the good personality being ignored. And then, ladies and gentlemen, besides also, we are from the closing government, besides explain the data, besides explain the argument also, here we are going to give the solution, ladies and gentlemen. Besides also, we aggressively to oppose the K-pop industry, here also we are going to give 3 solutions that probably convince you, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, the more character building as important aspect to be regularly done by the government. That means the government should be improved about the character building. For example, like in the family, in the education, the school, and whatever it is. For example, like in the university, so the government have to priorities about the character building, because this is a big or influence impact in our personality, ladies and gentlemen. And the second one talking about the solution, it is about also we have to expose as much as possible our local women's creativity and capability. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of the women, all of the people have the different talent, have the different capability. So because of the K-pop industry, because they focus on the style, oh my God, the style is really good. So, and then we ignore our own talent, and then we ignore it, and then continue to try to manipulate the style from the K-pop industry. What happened? How about our talent? It will be ignored, and then we continue to the style of the K-pop industry. And the last one, ladies and gentlemen, the solution we want to give it is about the education should aggressively to all the women to give the mindset how to build their future. This is very important also, ladies and gentlemen. Besides, it can be given to the family also through the education, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to emphasize, besides we oppose the K-pop industry also, these 3 solutions can convince you that actually we believe that the feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. That's all. Thank you very much.